Now to the Shahs. The Shahs again, I started doing my little vlogs on the Shahs, and so it's only right that I continue with the show. We're almost to the season finale, and it was last night was pretty interesting to say the least. One thing though, is it just me, or does MJ always look like she's drunk? She looks like she is toasted every time I see her. And then she has this hair thing that she puts this hair like on this side of her head. And I'm like, this, just like this won't go. Her hair ain't going that direction either. But every time you turn around, get my hair right. Every time you turn around, she got this bouffant type of side thing that just makes her look crazy. And I just and out of Reza and Sam, all of her friends, they should tell her that shit is not cute. But I like MJ. I think MJ is a I think she drinks as much as she does because her mom, because she wants to be, like she said last night, she's never been in a household where she got hugs or kisses or any kind of affection. And so I think that her drinking actually masks the hurt that she has inside from her mom's just poor lack of parenting, for to say the least. Last night we saw I've seen Reza cry, but I always, again, I go back. One of the reasons why I like this show is because you get opportunity to see another culture, and not just another culture, but another culture that is divided between religions at the same time, the Jews and the Muslims. And so I like to see, I like it. I like it. I like to see how the other side, like I said, does the Shabbats or just, comes together as a family to do what they're doing. But last night it was absolutely, it was interesting. MJ, at the dinner, the girls' night out, Gigi's girls' night out, excuse me. I knew it was gonna be some shit. You can always tell when it's gonna be some shit when the person who's usually the one, throwing up gang signs and always jumping up to fight somebody and cut somebody and stab somebody and you don't know who I am and all that kind of stuff. Whenever they say things like, I want a good night, I don't want any drama, there's going to be some drama because they can't help it. It's a part of their identity, and they surround themselves with people who might not be as full of drama as they are, but won't speak up against it, won't say anything to kind of like put her in check because they either, want to be around her, they think she's something special or whatever the case is. But people like her, whenever she says she doesn't want drama, nine times out of 10, there's going to be some shit. There's going to be some drama. So last night at the dinner table with her girls and MJ and all that kind of stuff, I knew that something was going to go down. When they started flashing the time, like 8:30 and then 9 o'clock, it was like a progression of when the shit goes down at the restaurant. So Gigi feels the need to confront MJ about not showing up to her parents' anniversary party. And I feel like that's stupid. Whether she showed up or she didn't. Well, put it like this. The fact that she showed up at 11 something or 5 minutes or 10 minutes before the event actually ended, is neither here nor there. If she showed up late, at least she showed up. Because she didn't have to show up at all. I know how Gigi felt like it was disrespectful. But you don't know what that person has, what kind of, like MJ said, you don't know what kind of day I've had to then say I'm being disrespectful. Because me personally, I would take my ass home. I would have left her a voicemail. Gigi, sorry, girl, I'm tired. I'm busted. I don't want to come to your parents' house late. I'm tired. I won't be there. That's the move I would have made. But she showed up. Give her credit for showing up. Be happy that she was there. Instead, she wanted to call the girl out, because she didn't get there at the time that you felt like it was appropriate. Gigi, you were there for your parents. That's the only damn thing that matters. Whether no one showed up, the fact that you were there, your sister was there, your sister's husband was there, your parents' grandchildren were there. That's the only thing that matters at the end of the day, that your family was there. But, this is coming from somebody who has a little bit of sense, because Gigi ain't got nan. And you like that word. You like that word, don't you? Nan. Yeah, she has no sense. But then the kicker was when the girl from a couple of episodes back confronted Gigi at the damn dinner table talking about, I don't know why you want to say this about me. Da, da, da. Okay, here we go with a non-motherfucking factor moment. If I was MJ, I would have jumped up. I would have choked the shit out of her. Number one, because I can imagine the amount of time that has transpired, between the time that they were in Vegas and the time they were at the dinner table. And if that young lady felt it necessary to confront Gigi about things that she heard her say or things that she thought she heard her say, there was more than enough time to call that chick on the phone or to meet with her. You Reza's friend. So why wouldn't you have kind of like got with Reza, told Reza the deal, and have Reza bring y'all two together so you can have an adult conversation? No, you gonna do a Gigi move and try to confront the girl at the damn table. That was messy. I'm not mad at Asa's friend for jumping up and saying, Gigi, you are a mean girl. I'm not mad at Asa's friend for saying what she said to Gigi and let her know, bitch, ain't nobody scared of you, you know? And it's so funny to me how Gigi gets upset when somebody calls her on the carpet about her daddy taking care of her, which in my eyes, if that's what your daddy want to do, that's his business. But she gets so mad when somebody says that she's on her daddy's bankroll, you know, that she ready to throw hands. What? Could somebody please tell me what is the proper thing to say? Because you are on your father's bankroll. This other young lady has made millions of dollars from her own sweat, from her own brow, and her own two hands. So if she want to talk shit to you, she can talk shit to you. What could you possibly say? Your daddy sat down to the table with you and said, your spending needs to stop. I think it's so funny how people come on, you know, people have parents who come over as immigrants. And usually immigrants come with like little of nothing. They could have had the world in their native country, but they come to this land with nothing other than great work ethic, probably a couple of connections, or maybe no connections at all, but they know that they have a dream and a desire to be somewhere. And then they raise these children up with no social or no responsibility. And that's exactly what happened to Gigi. She was brought up probably because she was the baby or whatever, with no responsibility, you know? And I keep thinking to myself, if anything ever happens to her father's income to where he can't make that kind of money anymore, their lifestyle, you know, goes from being, you know, a millionaire to maybe a thousandaire, she'll probably be the first bitch to throw herself off of a bridge because she wouldn't know what to do with herself. She has nothing going for her. Nothing at all. You know, I don't see her talking about, you know, I'm going to go to school, or, you know, I'm going to use my degree, or I'm going to, you know, I'm going to do something to make the world a better place. You hear nothing like that coming out of her mouth. What you hear from Gigi is, oh, I don't know what I'm gonna wear, or I don't want to wear the same thing, or I have this, but it's not feeling it, or I have to wait to see what everybody else is wearing, and then that's nothing. But you want somebody to marry you. You want somebody to bring you home to their mama and say, Mama, this is the woman I'm gonna spend the rest of my life with. Really, Gigi? Really? As the young lady said at the table, grow up. You need some life lessons. You need to be brought down a little bit. You know, you need to do something for somebody else besides yourself. You know, put your life into some type of perspective so that you can kind of get a little bit more more self-worth from yourself, because I don't understand you. I have no idea where you come from. You know, I think that you live in a house of yes. Everything you wanted was yes. No one ever said no. And when you said no, you jumped up and got bad and started fighting and throwing a fit, and some people gave in. I mean, you're really handicapped. You really will not. You can't survive in this world, because the moment you jump up in the right person's face and they knock you down to the ground with you holding your mouth and picking up your teeth, then you're gonna really be sitting here trying to figure out, if you really gonna come to the place that you're no longer in Kansas, because no real person acts the way that they do, expecting what you expect out of life at all. I don't understand. But off of Gigi, we already know Gigi is a lost cause. You know, she needs a good old fashioned ass whooping from 1979, something like that. But she's a waste of space, in my personal opinion. Because she adds no value to this world. I mean, I think she needs to just wake up and get a life, find her life, and actually, do something that's greater than herself. Do something that's greater than shopping. Last but not least, my heart went out to Reza when he went to visit his cousin, his Jewish side of the family. And I have twisted opinions about the whole thing. His father left him 16, 17 years ago, and he went to New York and, just kind of lived his life.